Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Tool Show with me, Master Dan, the Journeyman shooter. And today we're going to be having one of our little coffee time segments, just another tool talk with a master level electrician about whatever we kind of come across here. One thing I was thinking of is manners. Now, manners are really important, especially in the trades. You don't think so sometimes, especially, well, once in a while when you get on some of those really grubby sites where nobody cares about what they say or what they do, then you can get into those situations where manners are never there and you're probably not going to see them for quite a while, especially in oil patch. Oh man, good luck finding some manners out there, but that's why you can separate yourself from all the rest. You're always separating yourself, and especially in a hard economy, and it's tough to separate yourself. One way to do that is through having good manners and treating people with respect. It's not a tough thing, it's not a tough concept, but a lot of people have a hard time figuring out that when you treat somebody with respect, they'll treat you with respect. And in the trades, a lot of the time, people always fight. There's always battles. One of the oldest trade battles has been between the electricians and the drywallers. But no, I'm just kidding. We're not one of the oldest trade battles. I think it's like the masons and the plumbers or something like that, because neither of them wanted to do anything with the other trade. But no, I don't know. But well, witchcraft, we're electricians are more of a witchcraft trade, so we're not really looked at as one of the historical trades, but we are changing the world, and it's one of the good ones. But one of the things that you can do with that is that there's a lot of different ways. But let me take a sip of my coffee real quick here. That's good. Well, I've always, like, when I was in the oil patch, I always heard the saying, you're a rig pig, you're a pig on the rig, because there's nobody there, there's not many women around that you have to be respectful in front of, and that's part of manners, is men, women, and children, even women and children especially, but you got to kind of respect everybody around you, and you got to make sure that you know your surroundings and your environment, because if you say the wrong things or you're telling bad jokes in the wrong environment, it could offend somebody, and that's not a good thing. So you want to make sure you're using those manners, and now more than ever, when you're on a job site, you're representing your team, you represent everybody around you, and if you're telling bad jokes and cursing all the time, there's a lot of trouble. I know I did a video on cursing the other day about how you represent yourself and your team, and it's part of manners. You represent the people around you too, and you don't swear. You're a community member, and in Calgary we all represent this city, and it's a great city. It's slow right now for work, and especially in the trades. One thing you got to do is you got to make sure you're separating yourself from all the rest, and part of the way you can do that is just to stop the cursing, stop the violence, and stop all the anger. There's no fighting on site anymore, because that's what it is. It's a tough economy. They're not going to stand for having some guy that can't respect anybody else around there, and it kind of goes with the manners. There's many different types of manners. I know, like when I was brought up, I grew up right across from Michigan, and I played a lot of baseball in Michigan, so my mom would always warn me about driving in Michigan with the police, because it was a totally different world. In the United States police, they don't play games. It's not whenever you get pulled over, it's yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and you use the proper terms when you're discussing that kind of stuff with especially the police officers, because in the States, instead of, if you got a ticket and you weren't from that state, what they would do is they'd take you directly to an ATM so you could pay the ticket on the spot, and if you didn't have the money, you were going to jail, and they weren't going to play many games, so you had to be respectful, polite, and that's the thing, they're just people. They're doing one of the most dangerous jobs on earth, so if you're not respectful and you get out of line, they could take it as, oh, this is a threat, and that could really elevate things, especially in the United States. There's no worse place than you want to mess with a police officer than there, and that's it. You got to have respect for them. It's just like here. There's a lot of hard-working people, and they have a horrible job. It's not easy to deal with criminals and violence and stress and all the other stuff that goes with that, so don't put anybody on edge by making it worse and saying what. You say, hello, how's it going, and be polite. And especially, I know in the trades, like I've asked so many people, hey, how's it going? And it's not usually because I care, it's just because I have good manners, and I'm asking them because if they need help or they need a hand with anything, I'm always there, and that's what it is. And a lot of the time people just won't answer. It's like, hey, how's it going? Or, hey, what are you doing? Nothing, silence, and just a stare. It's like, oh, that good, eh? Yeah, wow, good, yeah. Congratulations, I guess you're not getting my help today. But that's kind of what it is you got to be polite. Even if the other people around you aren't being polite, you separate yourself from the pack, basically. My dad always said you separate yourself from all the monkeys because the monkeys and the evolution, and you grow up and that's it. You separate yourself from somebody that used to swing through the trees and hang out all day, and now you're a hardworking person with legitimate thoughts. You're in evolution. Well, it depends on what you believe in. You could be whatever you want. I don't care. If you think the world was just created the other day, go for it. That's your prerogative. It's not me to tell you who you are. You got the internet. You can go Google whatever you want to nowadays, and it's not that hard, but you could be polite about it while you're doing it, and you could respect other people's opinions, because everybody's got an opinion, and 90% of them are not what you would think or what you would expect to hear from somebody. But that's it. You're not always going to get what you want. You're not always going to get to hear what you want. You're going to get to hear what you need sometimes, and sometimes you're not even going to get to hear that. You're just going to hear a pile of whatever somebody's telling you, and that's it. Sometimes people just ramble on like me on this camera here and just keep talking and talking and talking. No, I won't waste your time much more, but that's it. Manners. You can, especially, you never know. In construction, there's always through the walls. People can hear you. They can hear you all over. You never know who's listening. You never know who you're walking by or who you're saying something to. It could be an owner of the site, and they could kick the whole company off site because one guy made a stupid comment, or one guy made some kind of rude remark to the wrong people or in front of the wrong people. It's just, you got to have respect for people, and I know a lot of people, they have no respect for anything. They don't really care about nothing, but that's it. You separate yourself from the pack. When you're part of it, like if you've actually earned a skilled tradesperson license, like a skilled tradesman or a skilled electrician or a skilled tradeswoman, any kind of skilled trade, whatever you earn, you actually earn that, and part of that is building up a reputation for yourself, and you're always representing yourself and your team. And when you represent yourself, if you don't have manners, good luck. Life is going to be tough, because even if you, any day when you're dealing with people on the phone, if you have to call in a call center or something, one of the things you got to make sure is you're treating them correctly, because they're just people too. Nobody really cares. The worse you treat somebody, the worse you're going to get treated yourself. If you want to get some kind of sweet offer out of something, or you think you're going to get a better deal because you're talking to somebody negatively, it's not going to happen. They're just people too, especially cursing, and you're freaking out on somebody for no apparent reason, freaking out on the world. I know everybody gets frustrated, but once in a while you just gotta make the most out of it and try not to get frustrated, I guess. It's tough, and that's what it is. It's everybody's got their issues and their demons, but when you're an adult, you kind of figure those things out and how to deal with your own problems. And if not, you can go talk to somebody. There's doctors, there's many different people out there that you can talk to about this, and make sure that you actually get out there. But that really has nothing to do with your manners. That has to do with personal issues. And so you just want to work on all of these at once. It's not like you can, well, you change your habits and then you can actually create better habits, which is good. So please, thank you, opening the doors for people. Manners, it's just a great thing to have, because yeah, if you're single, if you're not single, anything, like, you show people manners and you're gonna get farther in life. People will find you attractive, people will like you, people will want to be your friend. It's just a good thing to have. There's one thing that people are going away from. Nobody looks up from their phones or their internet or their social media anymore, basically, and you kind of lose that person-to-person talk or that person-to-person friendship. And I've even heard it before where one buddy was like, well, why would I hold the door for people? They're just going to get upset with me. And it's like, well, why not? It's like, let them get upset with you. It's like, oh, they're going to freak out on you for doing something good? That's tough. But other than that, that's kind of it. You just got to be nice, polite, and have manners, respect, and put the man back in manners. You can put the woman back in manners, I guess, too, but it's close enough. Same thing. It's all the exact same. So if you're polite, respectful, you're going to get places in life, and that's just what it is. The more friends you have, the better off in life you are. It's who you know world. My dad always said that. Who you know is where you're going to get. And if you're if you're disrespectful to the wrong person, there's a lot of powerful people walking around any day, and you never know who you could meet at any given time. And if you're in a grumpy mood, or you're angry, or you're telling somebody off for no apparent reason, it could hold you back in life, and it could be something you regret later on in life. You never know what you're going to happen, or what you're going to do, or what's going to happen, so make sure you're making the most out of it. And I really thank you guys for tuning in, and I appreciate you guys subscribing to the videos and all that kind of stuff, so thank you so much. And for Tool Show, I'm Master Dan, the Journeyman Shooter. Get out there, learn some respect, and treat people with manners. Thank you so much.